I'm Jeep Barnett, and on Narbacular Drop I was a programmer and did some of the design behind it. And sort of the same thing at Valve. On Portal I did a lot of design and programming, and that's what I've been doing here since.
My name's Garrett Rickey. I'm a programmer working on Portal 2 at Valve. And on Narbacular Drop, the student project, I was the programmer on that as well, and we all really designed it.
My name is Dave Kircher, and on Narbacular Drop I was the technical director and one of the game programmers, and at Valve I do a lot of gameplay programming and maintaining Portal tech.
We all started working together at DigiPen the very first year we were there, and we kind of stuck together as a team all the way through until our senior year. And Narbacular Drop we started creating the summer before our senior year. We kind of wanted to do a really cool project that would be a good portfolio piece.
Everybody tries to make a game that you see on a shelf. Everyone says, let's try to make a GTA clone this year, and we'll just defer all our game design decisions to GTA, and that just never worked out. So we really fell into that trap 3 years in a row. And a lot of what Narbacular is trying to make just a slimmed down, polished core of a game, and only focusing on that.
We did an idea generation process like late in our junior year, and then we just kind of keep churning those ideas and churn, and then eventually Narbacular Drop was the result of that.
The word Narbacular? Ah, yeah, that's a good one. Again, that was Jeep's idea. It was because of Google. We wanted a word that our game would come up if you Googled that word. Unfortunately, no one pronounces it right, and it's hard to remember, so it had its own problems, but it was a good argument for trying to make up a word.
And the drop just, we added that on the end so that people would know that it wasn't a foreign title, that it was, you know, an English thing, and they would have to wonder, what is Narbacular, and look it up themselves, and then they would land on our game.
The basic setting of Narbacular Drop is a fantasy setting in an underground dungeon, kind of like a living mountain.
There was a princess who's captured by this evil demon, taken to his dungeon lair, and instead of having the main character be somebody who rescues that princess, we decided that you would be the princess trying to escape all on your own. And you do that with the help of this elemental within the dungeon that can essentially create portals in its walls. And he's agreed to help you so that you can defeat the demon that's taken over his mountain home.
I would think that when we got our first level put together, our first puzzle, we had the tech working, and we had a very, very basic puzzle, and you know, we sat people down, and you know, it just kind of blew their minds. People just couldn't wrap their head around what exactly was happening when they went through a portal, and that was the exact effect we were going for.
There weren't an awful lot of games that you could sit down and actually play start to finish, and you didn't have to help people through it or explain too much, and people would keep playing. They would want to play more.
DigiPen, every year they do a career day where they bring in people from the industry around the area, and some people from Valve came, and they saw the game there, and they thought it was really interesting. They asked us a bunch of questions and invited us to demo it back at their offices. And so we just wanted some advice on, you know, how to make it better for the Independent Game Festival, and instead they asked us to work here.
We had an amazing amount of control when we came here. It was very freeform. Mostly we just had people that were kind of here to answer our questions and kind of guide us in what they had found to work in the past, but nobody was, you know, really forcing us to do anything.
When we got here, we didn't have to make a lot of concessions, and we didn't change the game. Valve understood the game as well as we did. In fact, I'd say they understood better than we did. The only changes were advice, and that made sense to us. They really gave us a process to make this into a much better game than what Narbacular Drop was. They helped us understand what we made even better through their experience making games like Half-Life.